A story about break the loop. A story about killing your bad habits before they kill you. I want you to think about the last time you tried to quit something. Maybe it was the late-night snacking, the doom scrolling at 1 a.m., the skipping of workouts you promised yourself you'd do, the cigarette, the drink, the argument you keep starting, the procrastination that swallows your whole afternoon. You tried to stop. You really did. And it worked for 3 days, maybe 5. Maybe you made it 2 whole weeks and felt genuinely proud. And then you were back. And the worst part wasn't the relapse. The worst part was the story you told yourself afterward. I have no willpower. I'm just wired this way. Some people can change. I'm not one of them. That story is a lie. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. Like and subscribe for more videos every week. Act I, the architecture of a bad habit. Here's what nobody tells you about bad habits. They are not character flaws. They are not moral failures. They are engineering problems. Your brain is, at its core, an efficiency machine. It hates wasting energy. So anytime you repeat a behavior enough times, your brain automates it, wraps it in a protective sheath called myelin, drops it into a structure called the basal ganglia, and removes it from conscious thought. Neuroscientist and Graybiel at MIT discovered this process in the 1990s. She called it chunking. Your brain takes a sequence of actions, open phone, open app, scroll, feel stimulated, and bundles it into a single automatic unit. It's not weakness. It's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. James Clear breaks this down beautifully in Atomic Habits. Every habit, good or bad, runs on a 4-part loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. The cue is the trigger. A time of day, a location, an emotion, a person. The craving is the desire it ignites, not for the habit itself, but for the feeling it promises. The response is the behavior. The reward is the relief, the pleasure, the release that locks the loop in place. You don't crave the cigarette. You crave the calm it delivers. You don't crave the scroll. You crave the escape from boredom. You don't crave the argument. You crave the feeling of being heard. The habit is just the vehicle. The craving is the destination. And here's why this matters more than anything else I'll say today. You cannot destroy a habit. I know. You weren't expecting that. But it's true. Research from MIT and studies replicated across neuroscience consistently show, once a habit loop is encoded in the brain, it doesn't disappear. The neural pathway stays. But here's the good news, and this is where everything changes. You don't need to destroy it. You need to reroute it. Act 2. The golden rule of habit change. In the early 2000s, a young researcher named Todd was trying to help people quit smoking. The traditional approach was, tell people smoking is bad, give them willpower tools, and hope for the best. It almost never worked. So Todd tried something different. He didn't ask people to quit smoking. He asked them one question. When you feel the urge to smoke, what does it give you? The answers were revealing. Some said relief from stress. Some said a reason to leave their desk and go outside. Some said connection. It was the only time they talked to colleagues. Some said a moment of control in a day that felt chaotic. And then he did the radical thing. Instead of attacking the smoking, he helped them find other ways to get the same feeling. Not to suppress the craving, to satisfy it differently. Charles Duhigg, who documented this in his book The Power of Habit, calls this the golden rule of habit change. Keep the cue. Keep the reward. Change only the routine. Keep the cue. Keep the reward. Change only the routine. This is why cold turkey almost always fails. You're not just trying to quit a behavior. You're trying to deny a craving your brain has been trained to expect. And your brain always wins that fight eventually. But if you satisfy the craving through a different route, you give your brain what it actually wants. You work with your neurology instead of against it. The smoker who wants to escape their desk, they start taking a 5-minute walk instead. Same cue, stress. Same reward, relief and fresh air. Different routine. Within 3 months, the walk becomes the habit. The cigarette becomes the inconvenience. Act 3. The 5 weapons. All right, let's get practical. Here are the 5 tools that the science actually backs for breaking bad habits. Weapon 1. Make it invisible. James Clear's first law of behavior change is this: make bad habits harder to see. Not impossible, just invisible. Stanford psychologist B.J. Fogg found that the average person makes their behavioral decisions in under 3 seconds based on environmental cues. If the cue is gone, the craving often never fires. Don't keep the cookies on the counter. Don't put the cigarettes in your jacket pocket. Don't sleep with your phone on your nightstand. Remove the cue from your environment, and you interrupt the loop before it even starts. Weapon 2. Make it unattractive. Andrew Huberman talks about a powerful mental technique, surfing the urge. Instead of fighting a craving, you observe it. You narrate it internally. I notice I want to reach for my phone. I notice the feeling in my chest. I notice it rising. And here's what happens. Cravings peak and pass within 90 seconds if you don't feed them. Literally 90 seconds. Neurologist Jill Bolt Taylor documented the biology of this. An emotional or craving response in the brain is a chemical surge that flushes through in under 2 minutes. Ride the 90 seconds. The craving breaks on its own. Weapon 3. Make it difficult. Create friction between yourself and the bad habit. Researchers call this commitment devices, deliberate barriers you put in place when you're strong to protect you when you're weak. Delete the app off your phone. Give your credit card to someone you trust if you overspend. Put your gym clothes out the night before, so skipping requires an active decision. Ulysses had himself tied to the mast so he couldn't sail toward the sirens. He didn't trust his future self in the moment of temptation. Neither should you. Weapon 4. Make it unsatisfying. This is social accountability, one of the most underused and most powerful tools in behavior change. A 2010 study by the American Society of Training and Development found that people who committed their goal to someone else followed through 65% of the time. But those who had a specific accountability appointment with that person, 95% of the time. The bad habit becomes unsatisfying when it has a social cost. Tell someone. Make a pact. Create a consequence you actually dread. Weapon 5. Replace the identity, not just the behavior. And this is the deepest one, the one that makes the others permanent. James Clear puts it plainly. The most powerful thing you can do is decide, right now, who you want to be, and then cast votes for that identity with every small action. Don't say, I'm trying to quit smoking. Say, I'm not a smoker. Don't say, I'm trying to eat better. Say, I'm someone who fuels their body well. Don't say, I'm cutting back on my phone. Say, I'm someone who is present. The behavior follows the belief. Always. Act 4. The relapse truth. Now I need to tell you something that most self-improvement content refuses to say. You will relapse. Not might. Will. At some point, you will slip back into the old pattern. And when you do, the critical question is not, why did I fail? The critical question is, how quickly do I return? Researchers studying habit formation at University College London found something striking. Missing a habit once had no measurable impact on long-term success. None. Missing twice in a row, that's where the loop starts to erode. James Clear calls this the never miss twice rule. You will have bad days. You will break the streak. But the people who build lasting change are not the ones who never slip. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. One bad meal doesn't make you unhealthy. One skipped workout doesn't make you unfit. One cigarette after 6 months clean doesn't make you a smoker again. But the story you tell yourself about that moment, that can. So when, not if, the slip comes, acknowledge it, don't dramatize it. Return the next day. Cast one more vote for the person you're becoming. The ending. Here's the truth about the person you want to become. They're not waiting for you at the end of some perfect 30-day streak. They're not on the other side of a dramatic transformation. They're not built in the moments when everything goes right. They're built in the boring moments. The Tuesday morning when you're tired and you still choose differently. The Friday night when the craving is real and you ride it out for 90 seconds. The moment after the slip when you say, not again, but I'm still here. Your bad habits are not who you are. They are what you did before you understood the loop, before you knew you could reroute it, before you decided to be the architect of your own behavior instead of the victim of it. You now understand the loop. You have the weapons. The only question left is the one nobody can answer for you. What loop are you breaking, starting today?